tying him up. Well, you're making fun of Jesus. And Rand said, Jack, have you no decency? Have you no shame? Paul asked Conway during the fourth of 5 scheduled debates between Kentucky's U.S. Senate candidates. Conway is desperate. And look for them 2 days before the election to claim Rand has dead bodies buried in his backyard. I mean, literally. They're going to say anything to try to beat him, and they're playing dirty pool everywhere to get that done. But I'm done talking about that subject because I've got some other things I want to get to here in a moment and your calls. But on the subject of evolution, I get bashed by both sides. And people are intellectually dishonest. They never listen to what I actually say. They build straw men and twist what I've said. Because I see the articles and radio shows and things that have been sent to me about my stance on evolution. I believe it's a red herring, okay? In fact, I know it's a red herring. And again, it's a very complex issue. It's just like the rapture. The rapture is clearly, a 5-year-old could read this and understand it. Clearly, and again, from just covering people's religious beliefs. I'm a Christian, but the show is secular. It isn't about religion, okay? But just as an anthropologist covering religion, like if I was covering a group of pygmies who worship rocks, who are animist, okay? It's kind of like when I cover Bohemian Grove and the world leaders go there and engage in neo-pagan black magic rituals. People say, oh, you're a nut. I don't believe in the devil. I don't believe in rituals. Well, it doesn't matter if you don't believe in it or not. I mean, are there people who engage in Satanism? Whether Satan's real or not, are there people that have satanic rituals? Yes. Are there people, whether you believe in Allah or not, and the Prophet Muhammad or not, is there a place called Mecca in Saudi Arabia? Do they march around the Kaaba? Is there a religion that's got 1,300,000,000 adherents centered in and around Mecca? Yes, that exists. Is there a religion of Christianity called Catholicism, Roman Catholics? In Rome, is there a city within the city? Is there St. Peter's Basilica? Yes. And there's over 1 billion Catholics. Okay, so Catholics exist, Muslims exist, Buddhists exist, clearly a guy named Buddha exists, clearly a guy named Jesus Christ exists. So to have this debate, I'm trying to very simply communicate with my critics. Atheists don't want to hear about Skull and Bones or Bohemian Grove because they laugh and say the devil doesn't exist. Well, whether that's true or not, world leaders getting together and getting naked in a giant tub of horse manure and urinating on each other and worshiping Lucifer and doing mock human sacrifices and being inducted into a Luciferian cult. I mean, would you have somebody babysit your child that did that? I mean, even if the devil doesn't exist, bathing in horse manure, being urinated on. I mean, I'm sorry to talk about this. This is what they admit goes on. This is admitted. This is New York Observer, ABC News. They made a movie, The Good Shepherd, about it. With Matt Damon and Robert De Niro, produced it. All historical, and it's got them in the manure pie, being urinated on. I mean, that's what goes on, okay? They get in coffins and do sexual things, homosexual things. I'm just going to leave it at that. Now, whether the devil exists or not, these people believe the devil's real, and they're wallowing around in feces, okay? Now, that's who a bunch of your presidents and CIA directors are. And this isn't Rand Paul at a frat party where some people are smoking marijuana, when he's 20 years old and making jokes about Aqua Buddha. Okay, that's a silly fraternity. In a thing built by British intel money in 1832, that's a mausoleum, and they grave rob and steal bones like Geronimo's bones, and they worship them. Let me tell you, these are some fruitcakes. It's very accurate in his movie The Good Shepherd, where it shows the guy dressed up as Satan with a skull mask and a crown on. That's how the devil dresses there. He's a king. And they ask Lucifer, they ask the devil, make me a king like you. I want power over the earth. Okay? And you notice they're getting power. So whether you believe in the devil or not, the devil believes in you. These people, whether the devil's real or not, just as an academic question, they believe in the devil and they are manifesting, do as thou wilt, dominate, enslave, kill. They also worship pirates in these Skull and Bones facilities, because it's chapter 322. They're all over the world. As German Chancellor Helmut Schmidt wrote in his book, Men in Powers, A Political Retrospective. He says, you know, we have our own groves, our own tombs, but my favorite is in California. So if you say you're a Christian, you should at least read Revelation, because it says after the devil comes in, takes over, gets defeated, then the dead in Christ rise. Then people are raptured, and then Christ comes back to the earth with the living and establishes his kingdom. So I think about, if you're just actually studying the religion, I think about the issue of evolution the way I think about the issue of the rapture, and I'll explain that when we come back after this break.
We all know that Berkey water purification systems are the most trusted name in water filtration. As an authorized Berkey dealer for over 5 years and serving thousands of satisfied customers, the Berkey Guy offers amazing specials for Berkey water filtration systems. The Berkey Light systems include a set of self-sterilizing and recleanable black purification elements that purify water by removing chlorine, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, and parasites to non-detectable levels and remove harmful chemicals such as herbicides and pesticides. Order the Berkey Light system today, complete with 2 black Berkey elements for only $209, and the Berkey Guy will include 3 sport Berkey water bottles and ship everything to you free of charge. That's right, 3 sport Berkey water bottles and free shipping. An $87 value, yours free. Call the Berkey Guy at 1-877-886-3653. That's 1-877-886-3653. Or order online at goberkey.com. That's goberkey.com today.
They helped to create a new world order.
We are part of a new world order.
A new world order based upon collective action.
Invisible Empire is a damning indictment of the globalists through their own words and documents.
The new world order really is a tool for addressing a new world of possibilities.
It means all the world under their control.
The United Nations would take over America. The Trilateral Commission would control the world.
Invisible Empire chronicles how men of power and influence have worked in stealth for centuries to establish an oppressive world government.
I believe, first of all, that we now need nothing short of a world constitution for the global financial system.
Global governance with the establishment of the G20.
So it's going to be an inner ruling elite and then everyone else. And I got news for you. You're everyone else.
Invisible Empire. Secure your copy today at Infowars.com or PrisonPlanet.com, or watch it online in the highest quality at PrisonPlanet.tv.
Do you know someone who's a Constitution basher? Then here's the ammo you need to silence them once and for all. Introducing the crash course on the U.S. Constitution, how to argue with a liberal about constitutional issues and win every time. If you believe it's time we stop disgusting left-wing lies and start telling the truth about America's Christian heritage, this crash course for patriots is for you. Start neutralizing the liberal propaganda being force-fed in our schools, the workplace, and the media. The crash course on the U.S. Constitution is an audio power program that includes 6 CDs jam-packed with amazing information, insights, and truth that will shut the mouth of any lie-loving liberal. Order your crash course on the U.S. Constitution online at thefoundersplan.com and look for the free bonus kit. Call today, 1-877-327-0365. That's 877-327-0365, or go to thefoundersplan.com. For God's honest truth, go to thefoundersplan.com today.
Oh, just an interesting program factoid. Over 200,000 people in the 27 hours clicked and loaded the free video stream that we had up Thursday and Friday for the 27-hour Money Bomb. So not just the normal hundreds of thousands that get the free podcast, 300,000 every day, or the roughly 250,000 that click on the streams every day, the free streams, but an additional 200,000, and that's conservative, in that 27 hours clicked on the video. But a lot of folks probably clicked on it a few times or reloaded it, so let's say 100,000 people your estimation, watch the free video stream. And it only costs us $3,000. I was worried it would cost more, but that's pretty good. 200,000 people loaded the video and watched it. Probably 100,000 if you cut it in half total, with people reloading it. But it would do pretty good. We would watch it here, and it would stay connected for 10 hours. Then it'd start getting jittery, and people could reconnect to it. But that's exciting. Big success there. I want to thank everybody for watching the 27 hours of all those amazing guests, Lou Dobbs, George Norrie. The list went on and on. Dr. Paul Craig Roberts, Gerald Celente, Dr. Stan Monteith. Look, I kind of went off down a rabbit trail into the fact that atheists won't even look at Skull and Bones or Bohemian Grove. Every time their default answer, including atheists I met on the street, is, hey, Alex, you're a kook. You believe in the devil. That Bohemian Grove stuff. And I'm like, well, I mean, even if you don't believe in the devil, the world leaders they believe in it. Isn't that important? They're like, oh, you made that up. It's like they're just totally blind to any type of weirdness going on. And then on the other hand, I've studied the whole situation with the rapture, and it's only been around the last 150 years. It's the biggest cop-out for Christians. We would have never had a revolutionary war with this type of Christianity. Of, just God will handle it, lay down, don't get involved, don't speak up, because we're all going to be raptured. In Nazi Germany, Christians thought they were going to be raptured. In communist China under Mao, when he was killing millions of Christians, they thought they were going to be raptured, on record. They just always think they're going to be raptured, and that's not the story of the Bible. That's not what happens over and over again. Countries go, how many times did Israel go into bondage because they turned away from God? How many times did the prophets, Jeremiah and others, say, you're going to go into bondage, you become decadent? He came riding over the hill and said, the enemy's 5 miles away. One of the prophets, I'm going from memory, and they were still laughing at him. And then the Persian army, or was it the Babylonian, I know they were captured by both, came marching over the hill, and they were like, it's this denial. But even if you just take the Bible as a history lesson, what happened there is repeated over and over again. But separately on the issue of evolution, who has exposed evolution? I mean, whether evolution is real or not, that's not the debate for me. The point is, Darwin came up with it. His entire family then developed the theory of eugenics. Galton, the inventor of it, was, of course, his cousin. And they are still the chief families today. They're married into the Huxleys and just the whole group that are pushing that it's their right to kill us because it's survival of the fittest, no matter how brutal they are, how bad they are. The fact that they're in power shows that it's their right to do it via social Darwinism. And the robber barons were big into social Darwinism. Going back 120 years ago, they promoted eugenics because it rationalized everything they were doing. Okay? And so they've made it a debate, an anti-Christian or even anti-religious debate, by saying Christians say the earth is 6,000 years old, and then they try to go show evidence that it's not, that it's, billions of years old. And there's no debate in the Bible about all this. And the Bible in Genesis has genetic engineering, all this stuff going on in it. If you just read it, it's amazing. Revelations is amazing. So we allow them to build straw men dealing with Christianity and then have big fights about it. Now as for the way, the theory of evolution, the way it's been pushed, has been proven to be a fraud. Because they now admit things just suddenly change. So my whole issue is, no, I don't believe in evolution. But I also don't believe in what many of the churches teach. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
You are listening to GCN. Visit GCNlive.com today.
Alex told you the government announced recently that the recession is over. It ended on June of 2009. The millions of Americans unable to find work might not agree. Perhaps the recession ended for the bankers and government employees, but for the rest of us, things seem to be getting worse. Gold and silver haven't heard the news either. They've begun their long-expected journey to the moon. In addition to converting your shrinking dollars into gold and silver, you should consider a food savings account from eFoods Direct. They both make fabulous investments. Food is our greatest dependency, and we know it will be more precious than any financial resource. You and your family need food to survive a crisis, and you can't eat paper, stocks, or metals. Alex has been urging you to invest in delicious, easy-fix meals to enjoy now or save for long term. This will freeze the cost of your food while you can still afford it. Visit efoodsdirect.com on the internet or call 800-409-5633. That's efoodsdirect.com.